I was eating some chips, and so I am. And so, for those that don't know, haven't been here before, these live Q&As are for me to be able to answer any questions that you may have, as well as answer any questions that I may receive from you all on the YouTube channel. A lot of people say a lot of things on the comment section, all that good stuff, and I don't get to be able to answer all the different questions that come in. So I said to myself, what is a way that I can answer your questions and things like that? And doing lives is the way that works best for me. And so obviously I do want you to be able to ask any questions that you may have. Obviously I'm here physically live in the flesh, and so I can answer it right there then immediately. However, if there isn't anything that comes through, I'll simply just go through all the comments of questions that already have come in and answer those respectfully. So, you know, we're here. We're here. Good times, fun times. At the moment, I don't really have a consistency for when these live Q&As are. However, we did it once before this month. This is the second time this month. So, you know, maybe double is not the thing because nobody's on right now. But at the end of the day, it is 8:30 in the morning, and I not too long rolled out of bed, but we are here to answer any questions that you may have. Obviously, you have the questions. Hopefully, I can supply the answers, and we can get to the ultimate destination of being able to garden well. If you're trying to build something and you have any questions, definitely let me know. If you have chickens and you're trying to figure out what to do with the chickens, definitely let me know. I'm here to answer all of those particular questions as well. And as you coming in and things like that, definitely let me know where you are located, as far as like, you can let me know your city and your state or your country, right? Because some people are from other countries and things like that. So I have an idea of like your gardening zone and things like that. So that when I do answer your question, I'm not too far off from what the reality is in your given area. So without further ado, I'm just gonna go ahead and go through what already is, because I don't see anything popping up, and I'm not here just to talk, right? That's why I have videos. But here we go with one of the first ones with the DIY pallet bed that I built. Somebody said I built my own the same way, looks kick bottom at night with the light. So that's cool. Boom! What's up, Miss Brandy? In the DMV area, zone 7. Oh man, so it's kind of nippy up there right now. But I don't know if you're growing anything, so that may or may not affect what you are growing. So shouts out to you, Miss Brandy. I appreciate you. Boom, y'all looks great. So the fun thing is, like, the last, I'm gonna call it 3 videos or 2 or 3 videos that I posted this past week were like throwback videos, just to show you all how things can progress with gardens and things like that. Like, you may start a certain way, you may have things laid out a certain way, but then, you know, things could change and all those good things. So now you all saw what was as far as my garden, but now you see what is with the garden and raised bed and the grow bags and the chickens and things. But just to show y'all, progression and change is inevitable with a garden. So I see you, Miss Brandy, with the tons of greens. Okay, you can't go wrong with the greens. Shout out to the, that's I'm definitely focused on right now with my collards, with my kale, my Brussels sprouts, and peppers, right? Because I could do that here in Florida. But nice, nice, nice. So come time Thanksgiving, come time Christmas, you're gonna be the talk of the town. Everybody gonna figure out where is Brandy and her fresh greens. For those that don't know, what I did say is, when you come in, if you could, if you would, just drop where you are located, and things like that, so that, you know, we can talk respectfully with the giving zones and all those things, because, you know, everybody's not in Florida, which I get. And so wherever you are, if we are talking garden talk to you, I know how to do so. But then boom, 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 boom. Like I said, I'm just gonna go through. If I don't see any live questions, oh, Northern Ireland. Oh, Roy, what's up, great man? Oh, that's cool. Northern Ireland, man. So what are you able to grow in Northern Ireland at this time? Because if it's cool here, it's definitely cold there, being too that you're in the Northern Hemisphere. And we have Miss Amy. Nice, nice, nice. In Fort Myers. Wow. How have you been doing since the hurricane? I know the hurricane went through Fort Myers and all that good stuff, respectfully. But just, you know, checking in on you in that respect, Miss Emmy. And so, as people have been saying, the yard looks great back then. Thanks for the deck. The deck is gone. The yard doesn't look like that. anymore, but definitely thank y'all for all those you know, positive comments. I wish it would look like that now. It was a lot simpler, a lot easier to manage. However, things change with life. I see in Northern Ireland you are growing Brussels sprouts, kale, winter density cabbage. Oh man, that's the good stuff. We are growing similar things. I did not grow cabbage this season though. I just didn't do well with cabbage, truth be told. Maybe I wasn't watering it enough, or maybe I was over watering it. But then I was getting the pest problems as well with my cabbage. So yeah, shouts out to you. Shouts out to you though, Sir Roy, because you're able to push through and persevere, and I hope it turns out great for you in that respect. Definitely, when you drop in, definitely let me know where you located, if you're growing anything, or if you're trying to build anything. Ask those questions. If you have chicken questions, definitely let me know. My ladies are doing great, 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 great. I do now have not only green eggs, but a hue of blue eggs. Let me show you those eggs. Hold on one second. I collected them yesterday, and look at these hues. Like, I even have like a little. This is not the same green, and this is not the same green. So it's like the colors are popping. The colors are popping, right? And so that's the fun thing about having chickens, because I mean, you know, chickens gonna do what chickens do, and they're gonna produce what they are there to produce. But in it all, with it all, I love having chickens. And so I saw what you said, Roy. You said, strangely, 15 degrees Celsius here should be in low singles figures. Oh my gosh. I couldn't imagine. I wouldn't want to imagine. Therefore, I won't. When I visit Ireland, it'll definitely be in a warmer time frame, because single digit Fahrenheit is not for me. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. The amount of long johns necessary, the amount of jackets necessary, I just couldn't see myself doing it. And I can only imagine the snow is thick. And no, 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 no. I would find myself indoors all the time during the time I'm there. But anyway, let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know you all, and I hope you all are here because you have questions, you have things that you're trying to do, want to do, or even, you know, curious about doing it, that we can talk through, walk through, and particularly and hopefully get you to your ultimate goal and destination. And so, you know, that's why I'm here. I'm here for you all. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, people talking about the bench. Oh, okay, okay, okay. You right. Are you gonna leave the cardboard down, put down mulch? Yes, absolutely. Oh boy, people are funny. Y'all are funny. Absolutely. Okay, so I will speak to that. Absolutely. Okay. And I spelled it wrong still. I tried to spell it out. But anyway, what the question was when in the garden I had mulch. I did before I did mulch, I put cardboard down. And really, I put cardboard down in general before I lay mulch, before I put a raised bed down or anything like that. Largely because the cardboard will help to keep the weeds from coming through. And with mulch, right, it's beautiful because it's all that mulch color. And when you have weeds and things going through, it doesn't look great, doesn't look good, and you have to go try to pull them out and all those things. And weeds gonna do what weeds gonna do, which is grow, produce, and multiply. And so I say all that to say, cardboard is a nice biodegradable green thing that you can lay down that will safely keep the weeds from coming through. Why? Because the weeds aren't getting the light, the photosynthesis, the sun, for them to be able to continue to grow. And so with those blocked out, they won't grow. It'll suppress the weeds, and you'll have a nice, beautiful outcome as you so desire. So I say all that to say, whenever you do start a garden, or you're trying to mulch, or you have raised beds, or even grow bags for that respect, it's cool to lay down a layer of cardboard or two, right? Depends on the thickness of the cardboard and the layer of weeds that you're trying to suppress, and then do what you want to do on top, and you'll be happy with that result. Okay, so that's the whole trick behind the cardboard trick. And as you said, it's more wet than snow. Ooh, lots of green grass, the emerald isles. Ooh, that sounds beautiful. Even though wet and cold, I don't like how that sounds, but you're selling it, Roy. I mean, you're there. I get it. What was your greatest success plan? How did you achieve it? What was the worst, and what would you change? Oh man, this is a great question, Roy. So the greatest success plan that I grew was collard greens, and it was like I think it was my first or second year growing collard greens, but it was my most successful, and I believe largely because I had a protective barrier around it to keep the pest away, and that consisted of marigolds and garlic. I had around those collard greens, and they were beautiful, nice and leafy. I have videos of me not only growing it but also picking it or harvesting it and things like that, and those were so good. And I had so many. I was giving away to family, we were cooking them on holidays, and the list goes on. But again, I believe that's why as well. So great question, Roy. I appreciate this question because it's making me think. I also fertilize the collards as well with fish emulsion, which that's a fancy way of saying fish poop. You can get it in it's like a white container, and you mix it with water and things like that. And so I did fertilize it with a frequency. I forgot what the frequency was. I did write it down, so it's in my journal. But I frequently fertilized the collards, and they grew in response to that. And I definitely made sure the watering was taken care of and all that good stuff. It was getting plenty of rain, which was odd during the winter seasons. But nonetheless, it was getting plenty of rainwater, fish in motion on the schedule, and I had the protective barrier of marigolds and garlic around it. So that was what was great and why it was great. And then you said, what was the worst and what would you change? What was the worst situation that I attempted to grow? Man. I'm gonna probably say onions, because it was like I put the seed down and nothing came up, and I put another seed down and nothing came up, and I put another, so what would I change? I don't know. I probably would. That's a good question. I probably, if I was to think through it now as I am, I would probably try to seed start it indoors first with paper towels, right? So you can wet paper towels. And when I say paper towels, like 2 pieces. So you wet the bottom a little bit, like not overly drenched because it's just saturated, but making sure that it's moist. And you put the seed down, right? And then you can get another piece of, do the same way, put it on top, and then that will allow for the seed to germinate. And what I would do is take the germinated seed and then plant that. Maybe the seeds were dormant. Maybe it was the seed and not me. And so doing it that way would allow me to see if the seed is a good seed. And then if this is a good seed, I'll plant those seeds. So that's it, Roy. That's what I would do. Love the question. I love the question. And even I had the thought of doing it that way because, as you can see, maybe you don't know, but that right there is my hydroponic system. And I'm actually going to start growing some things probably next week. I need to start the seeds. And do it that way, where you start the seed indoors first, and then whatever germinates, I'm going to put it into the hole for that to continue to grow into a plant that I can then harvest from. And so that's how I have that onion idea. So I don't know what y'all think. I'm just like that cool. It's probably there. And he said, I would buy onion sets, which are bulbs already started. Leaves it, yeah. No, that's true. I've definitely seen those in the store. But if you follow me, you already know I love seeds, just to try to see how it does from the beginning to end. And so, but bulbs are a thing, right? Bulbs are a thing for not only onions, but even sweet potatoes, right? You could do slips, and there's bulbs for potatoes as well. But sometimes it's nothing like with a sweet potato, cutting that bad boy into quarters or whatever type size, putting it in the sun, letting it grow its own slip, and planting that slip, right? Just as with onion seeds, But you're right. All that to say, Roy, you're right as well. That is a way. That is what can be done, and maybe what I may end up resulting to if the seeds don't start. Pun intended. But yeah. I love that, Roy. Any other questions or things that you all may have, again, that you may want to grow or may want to do with chickens, maybe, maybe you want some chickens, maybe you want to build something. As you see right here, attached to pallets. I had a pallet crave one time on the channel where I was building everything with pallets, and I was literally trying to build everything, even some things that made it in the house. But all that to say, I definitely have some fun times and experience with those things. I'm here for you. I'm here with you, live and live in color. So let me know. This is my lemonade. I love mason jars, and I love lemonade and tea and water too, right? Because you're supposed to drink water, but life's not the same without lemonade and tea. Roy, do you all have that in Ireland? Pure curiosity, sweet tea and lemonade. Is that a thing? If not, what do you all drink like? It's like a casual drink, non-alcoholic, but like, what's a casual drink that you all drink in Ireland? Trying to diversify, great people. I'm trying to diversify. Y'all, I don't have an Ireland flag up because we haven't been to Ireland, but Ireland flag's coming because I'm gonna have to go to Ireland one day. Check out Roy's situation. For those that are in, if you haven't already, definitely let me know what area you are living in so I can speak to the specific growing zone if gardening is your thing. We here. We here to have fun. We here to educate. We here to grow together and be a community of people that do it their way, right? And the list goes on. So I see people on, but I don't see anything going on in the chat. But it's okay, right? I can't see who you are, so you can remain hidden, by not saying nothing. That's a way to remain hidden. And we could just keep rocking it. Man, Chrystle sprayed, my wife is Chrystle, sprayed this spray on me like a little Energizer spray, and it's working. Like, I feel refreshed, rejuvenated, and it must have some eucalyptus in here or something. Because, man, I feel good. I almost hit my James Brown, but I can't do that. But anyway, I'm going to just keep going, right? Because there are things that people have asked me on the channel that I can address on here. And it says, I'm in 9B, Sarasota. Shouts out to you, Sarasota, Florida. We are the same. And I am new and just planted collard starts. I'm so nervous. How often do you water, please? Okay, so I will say, when watering things, right? Yes, there can be a frequency, but I would say not to so much focus on the frequency if it's raining outdoors. If it's not raining, obviously you stick to your frequency, but if it is raining, obviously you have to make adjustments. So essentially what you do want is your soil to not be dry, but you're right. When you're growing things, it's okay for it to be wet and then to dry out, right? Because when it dries out, the roots are going to grow. That's why you continue to water it again, right? So for those that don't know, the main chemistry, if you will, or what's functioning with the soil and the plant and the watering and all those good things is when you have a plant, right, it grows roots. The roots grow and do what they do. The function of roots is to find nutrients and water. Nutrients and water, which it sends back up to the plant that you see above ground, which allows for the stems and things to grow and the fruit begin to bud. However, when the soil is dry, then the roots are going to go searching for water and nutrients and things like that. When it's moist and nutritious as far as the soil, the roots don't have to necessarily do any particular hard laborsome work to grow and stretch and look. But when it is dry, that's what they'll do. So sometimes you'll find that when you pull up a plant or something like that, that it has a lot of roots, that the roots are growing strong and far and things like that. And you may be like, oh, wait, look at my roots. Well, not necessarily. It could be because that your soil was dry quite often, which required the roots to do what they do, which if you plant in any type of like harmonious type scenario, which like for me, I do square foot gardening. Therefore, if my roots are stretching out and then going to with the other ones, it can mix and mingle and things like that, which I've had that problem with my hydroponic system, which is right there. And so, that's that. So overall, in it all, yes, there is a frequency depending on your conditions, right? So that's why it's even challenging to say, oh, okay, you water it every 3 days. Right? You can technically drown your plant if you water it every 3 days and it rains as well. So, I'm going to say in the watering question. How often do you water them? You water them to the point that your soil doesn't remain dry. Because dry soil isn't bad soil. Constant dry soil is bad soil. Write that down. All right, so I want to get chickens and I have the space for them. Okay, Miss Brandy. Trying to convince my spouse why we should get them. Okay. Fun times, good times. So, okay, Brandy, okay. I'm going to assume that your spouse is well, it doesn't matter. But more than anything, what are some ways in which you convince? I had to convince my spouse, in a sense, Chrystle, because she doesn't do animals. She doesn't. So that means she doesn't do birds. But anyway, what I said was, hey, this was a fun idea that I wanted to do. I wanted to see where my eggs were coming from and the process in which eggs do come from chickens. I've heard some things. I've seen some things. I've been to, some petting zoos and things like that. However, I wanted to see it for myself. So I'm gonna go pick up some chicks and raise them from chicks to hens, and from hens to eggs is what I look to get, and that's the process that I'm gonna do. What I, of course, was able to do and say is, you don't have to worry about anything. I'll build the shelter, I'll feed them, I'll make sure they have everything they need, as well as water, and that is my selling thing. Let me know when you think that, you're okay with it. And essentially, it was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. Like you said, you're gonna do everything. I don't have to do anything, and you'll be good to go. They'll be good to go. So go ahead. Cool. Now, truth be told, I did need her help like a couple of times when they were like chicks and needed her to help with the watering and things like that, and she did it. Right? It was 2 times. And so I said I did say, like, even if your spouse is like anti and you say I could do everything, then there may be some times where you actually need your spouse's help. And they'll come through. But I say that all that to say, Miss Brandy, when asking to bring chickens to the house, present what the idea is. Not only that, but then present the fact that you know what it takes to have these chicks, and that you are ready and equipped and able to do those things. And if that's the case, then your spouse is less likely to say no, with the idea that you know what you're doing. This is your thing, so do your thing. And if you live in a neighborhood, just definitely make sure that your neighborhood allows for such livestock in your yard, right? Because that could be a thing against the HOA or whatever, whatnot. So I definitely don't want you to be in a situation where you are fined or even possibly evicted from your neighborhood because you do have chicks in the yard. So saying all that to say, definitely do your due diligence, but then when speaking to your spouse, make sure you do it in a way that they know that you know what you are doing, bringing these chicks in the house, because it's not a small feat. I will say that. Depending on how many you want, I realized even too with myself that it's some work. It's work, and it's daily work. I will say that. Well, you can flex it to like every other day, but truth be told, it's daily work and maintenance that goes into raising chicks and having chicks. And I do have a lot of things that are automatic with the food, with the water. But then there's eggs that you have to collect, and I would say not to allow for your eggs to sit over 2 days, because the chicks will start pecking at them, and what you don't want is them to have that tendency and that habit, because then you won't have any eggs to partake in because they'll all be opened up. So keep that in mind, Brandy. I hope I presented it in a way that you can now present it for success as far as you getting them in the house, but then also to do it in a way, because at the end of the day, as you would want comfort and knowing whatever it is that your spouse is doing, so does your spouse want comfort and knowing what it is that you're trying to do with these chicks. Okay. All right. Hopefully that was helpful for you. If you do get them, obviously I'm rooting for you, and it's going to be great times, fun times. I have eggs on eggs, and I have, so this is after 2 days. This is 2 days worth of them laying, and I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That don't look right. 3, 6, 9, 11. 11. Boom shakalaka. 11 eggs. So all that to say, do your thing, baby. That was 2 days. Like I said, 2 days, 11 eggs. I feel like I have more. I think my wife takes my eggs, because I definitely had 13. They had 13. 14. I had 14, so she took 3. I might have to ask her. She'll be out here in a little bit. But anyway, see, here's the other thing, Brandy, and this is for everybody on here too, even if it's my wife on here. She said when I brought these chicks, she said, I'm not gonna be eating those eggs. I'm gonna get them store-bought eggs. No, no, no. She started seeing these eggs and realized what she tasted them. And I believe she saw with her mouth and her taste buds how good these eggs actually are, how strong the shells actually are, and how beneficial these eggs actually are as opposed to what we were getting in the stores and things like that. So, say all that to say, things change, right? Things change when you start having something good in your mouth, okay? And so, full circle, Brandy. Yes, 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 you're welcome. I grew, Roy said, sweet corn for the first time this year. Grew about 5 feet high. Yup. Only got 1 ear of corn that have matured. Is that normal to have only 1 ear, as I'm not familiar with growing corn? Ah, nice. Beautiful, Brandy and spouse, right? Shouts out to you, sir. So, hopefully that was helpful. But to you, Mr. Roy, now that you say that, I was on this idea that I wanted to grow my own corn, and I gave that a grow and things like that. And I actually did get an ear of corn. Now, you say yours grew 5, only received 1. Is that normal? Not really. Not really. And I say that because I even grew some that were like 3 feet tall, and they produced ears of corn. So I'll tell her to say it's not necessarily like the height that's going to determine whether or not the ear of corn comes or not, but it is the germination process. So whether you paid attention to it or not, when you had your corn, the ear of corn, before it became a kernel of corn, there was a time where it had like a little frilly situation coming at the end of it. And so that part is a part that needs to be germinated. And so with that germination process, it will then create the ear of corn, or we're used to eating a piece of corn and things like that, or even for popcorn. And so I say all that to say, if you decide to grow corn again, make sure you pay attention when they are in that phase and do some pollinating, okay? And so fun times, good times. Corn, like bell peppers and all kind of other peppers and loofah, cucumbers and things like that, are a plant that, and vegetable, that has to be pollinated. And so if you don't have bees, butterflies, and things like that that will help pollinate naturally the plant, you have to take part in the pollination process. And you can do it with toothbrushes. You can, particularly sometimes, you can like break off, if it's like pulling from corn, not corn, but like definitely do this with corn. But like cucumbers, you have the flower side and then you have the male side. And so you can sometimes take the flower and like, with the male side, and then that's where the cucumber comes from, right? And so fun times, good times. But all that to say, it's the pollinating process that is what's going to create the ears of corn that you can ultimately eat. So saying that to say, Roy, keep that in mind. Boom. Again, any questions you all have, okay? Because I'm definitely live for you. And if you all don't have any particular questions, I'll definitely revert to the questions that I'm getting on the channel and answer those. Being that, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to answer questions. And so if I don't read any questions from you, I will read questions from them and answer those questions. And so without anything on the screen, I'm gonna read. And I'm gonna read. Hi, I'm a new gardener. Gardening in Sarasota 9B. I planted 10 color starts. Blah, blah, blah. How often do... Oh, okay. Here we go with the water question again, which I appreciate that. First you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again, okay? Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Hopefully you all heard the watering answer with the idea that you want to water so that the soil doesn't remain dry. Dry soil isn't bad soil. It's allowing for your roots to grow and do what they do, but you don't want to allow for your soil to remain dry because that's not what you want. But no less than once a week, right? Because some people just like to know like formulas, And the fun thing about gardening, which you all will see and grow to know, pun intended, is that gardening isn't something that you can necessarily like have like this is the way it has to be, like especially when you're growing in like soil. If you're growing hydroponically or with aeroponics, then it is something to a science to it, where you could do it rhythmically, where you have the watering taking place a certain way, the feeding taking place a certain way, the lighting coming a certain time, a certain height, and raises and all those things. Like it's a controlled environment, a control element. So therefore, you can have control that control what takes place with the situation. But when it's natural, when it's outside, when it's in nature, the sun's gonna do what the sun wants to do. The clouds are gonna come when the clouds wants to come. The rain's gonna come when the rain wants to come. And saying all that to say that it is not as systematic, and therefore you can be so systematic with your processes. You definitely have to be adaptable and adjustable. That's the real thing with gardening. So yes, that's that question. Great video. I just got my I do Wednesday and kale sprouts by Saturday. I am going to plant them outside in a green stalk, raised bed, and a grow bag and see how they do. Awesome. Okay, cool. Sounds great. Let me know how that grows, right? Because I say that because I did that too. I grew some starts in a hydroponic system. Ooh, right there, that's what that is. And then I planted them outside. Here's the thing that I had ran across, right? So here's a rookie mistake that I don't want you to make. Hashtag that. But here's a mistake. I have chickens, right? And so they say that chicken manure is great fertilizer for your plants. What I did was I then just dumped from the coop to the raised bed. I put the poop. And what I realized was, after doing some research about cow manure, or excuse me, chicken manure, is that it is very acidic, and therefore you have to allow for it to sit over a like 3 or 4 month period of time before using it as fertilizer. Because if you don't, it'll kill out the areas in which you put stuff. I killed my kale. All that to say, I killed my kale. And so, all that being said, we all try to figure it out. Yours truly as well. Thank you. Raccoons in my garbage. Yeah. Spray that away. I definitely have to spray again. I saw raccoons on my. I was about to try to find it and show you, but it's on my phone that I'm here viewing from. And so I got raccoons again. So I'm definitely gonna have to spray because I don't want that problem in the backyard, especially with the chicks back there now. And so here, somebody has said, my family and I started planting some collards and they seem to stop growing. They budded and stopped. Okay, fun times, good times. So this is a good one. Why do I say that? Because when a plant buds, specifically like the kales, the spinaches, the Swiss chards, the greens, the brassica families, she said budded. I'm gonna assume that she meant bolted, but that means where it's like these stringy stems that comes up, and essentially those are where the seeds are for future such plants, right? And I say such plants because it could be kale bolts, it could be collard bolts, Swiss chard bolts, spinach bolts, and the list goes on. However, with those, that's a sign the plant is no longer going to grow, and it has now said enough growing, grow some more with some other seeds. And so that's that's taking place. And that could be for numerous reasons. It could be because it's too hot where you are. It could be because that's usually the real reason. It's too hot. And too much sunlight, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be heat, but the sunlight is just overbearing that it says, okay, cool. Like it feels that the season is up, and hey, cut it out this season, wait till the next. And so that's what that's doing. Hello. It is probably because they were getting too much sunlight. However, collect seeds for future growth. All right, so that's what that is. Bolting, fun times, good times. Bolting is what that's annoying. Okay, cool. Hey, even for the people that give me bad comments, I thumbs it up because I feel like everybody needs love, right? You know, everybody needs love, and I'm here to give love. I did see you, Roy, say something. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, Crystal first. How many chickens do you keep? I currently have 10, but that's far too many. And so I do have some family friends that are going to be collecting some of these chickens, and so that's going to be taking place. I'm gonna help them build their coop and all that good stuff. But yeah, I have what I have. And why do I have 10? Because I was told and I read where it says that when you have chicks, they can die in the growing process. Therefore, I said to myself, I only want 6. And so, if death was to happen, I would at least have 6. However, all of my chicks stayed alive. And so, I believe, you know how family does. Let's talk about family. I believe family was waiting on the sideline until the chicks or the hens start laying eggs to say, okay, I'll take the hens. And that's what they're doing. The hens are laying eggs. They partook of the eggs. They like the eggs. And now they say, I'll take the chicks. Family. Family doing what family does. So here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Um, and then Crystal says, how many? Oh, whoa, I already answered that. Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. And then Roy says, thanks for your answers. Best tips for growing all bell peppers. Absolutely. And I believe he's speaking to the fact that you want to self-pollinate your bell peppers and things like that. And you can do so with the flower. The flower side is the female side. And then it's hard to like say it without showing you. But then there's another side where you'll see it with the leaf and the stems and all those things is the male side. And what you want to do is put the leaf on the male side, and that's going to help fertilize the particular bell pepper, and you'll be good to go from there. Good to roll from there. And so that's that, right? All right. Miss Melissa has said hello there from North Carolina's own 8A. Love the channel. Do you have any pest pressure? If so, what do you use to control the bugs? Yes, I do. I like how you said it, right? I had to like break it down because I never saw it as it was written. Pest pressure. I do have pest pressure, as you said. And what I do choose to use is I have marigolds, right, which are great to keep the pests away. I also grow, what's it called? Garlic. I do that. But then spray wise, I have this insecticide. Let me show you. Right, neem oil is always great, always useful. People say they use it, they try it, and it doesn't work. It depends, right? It depends on when you try it, when you go to use it, and all those different things like that. What's up, man? Wow, that's your outfit?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He insisted on these shoes. I just.
Okay. And then here's the beautiful rain. Oh, baby girl, how you doing? You say hello to the people? All right. You look so beautiful. You gonna put on some lotion?
I didn't put on some lotion.
Yeah. Come here, Ricky. Let me show the people you.
You said it's too much. She said put on lotion.
Oh, look at my son. They're going to a function. He didn't brush his hair, but it's okay. And look at his outfit, guys. So the fun thing about no, it's my snack. So the fun thing about having kids is that it'll come a time where they're gonna do what they want to do, and this is what this looks like. We let the kids dress themselves sometimes because during the school day they have uniforms. So, Ricky, you like your outfit? Yes or no? Okay. Anyway, so fun times, good times for those that have kids that don't have kids. There's always a joy. There's always fun. There's always something going on. But let me not get lost in the sauce. As you said, Melissa, yes, I do have pests. I choose to use plants-wise marigolds and the garlic, specifically for my brassica family plants. But then outside of that, I definitely use neem oil. I have an insecticide one as well. I thought that's what that was, but it's one that will keep the bugs and things away. And so all that good stuff. So you definitely want to make sure you have those on lock. And now I did hear about Stevian or Sevian spray situation, but I didn't use it. And I didn't use it largely because after doing some research, I saw that it not only keeps the bad pests away, but it also keeps the good ones away too. And so I didn't want that type of environment because I feel like if it keeps the good ones away, no, I didn't want that. Hold on one second. Yeah, right here. Lotion your arms, your face, and your legs. And make sure I'm out the way, all that good stuff. But you know, y'all seeing it, live and live in color, right? So this is what life looks like without edits. And so, boom, 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 boom. I believe I'm out the way. Oh, what's up, Mr. Larry, the great man, Mr. Larry himself is in the house. I showed the kids just a moment ago. They are hilarious. And Mr. Man, how you growing? How's it going? I definitely did see your pictures. I did get your email with your warm wishes and well-doings during the hurricane. We just had a lot going on, right? But like I said, I appreciate you and I love you for the consideration and the checkups and things like that, as well as even how you show me the growth of your plants and things. So shouts out to you, Mr. Larry. But Miss Melissa, I pray and hope that I answered your question in a way that was beneficial for you. If not, definitely let me know what pests that you have particularly that you're trying to mitigate, because you know that could determine what type of use or what type of plant that you grow, or you know the things that you do to help alleviate their problem, because obviously pests is not what we want, you want, but you know I definitely want to make sure you have what you need to succeed. Also, Q, thank you for the answers. Of course, and the kids are hilarious, right? The kids are hilarious, and kids are gonna be kids, and you just have to have fun with it, right? So definitely let me know any questions that you have, anything. Definitely let me know, and I'm here to answer your questions, ladies and gentlemen. If not, what I'm gonna do is answer these questions that already came through. I saw. Now I had to get them. Those egg, man. If y'all didn't see that video of me unboxing my egg cartons, please go back and do so, because those egg cartons are amazing. I love those egg cartons, and everybody that gets them are like, "Whoa, these are awesome," and biodegradable too. Boom. Okay, so Mr. Larry, you have said we will start next year with new garden. Okay, all right. I dig that. Sometimes you do have to start afresh. Sometimes you do have to take a break. Life can be what life is, and it may require you to step away from doing such things. But when you know, and you make the necessary adjustments for what has to take place. So I get it. We're headed home to the Bahamas. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I love the Bahamas, man. Such great people, such great food, such great weather, such great entertainment, right? I don't know where you stayed, but I've stayed a little bit everywhere in Bahamas. We go there once or twice a year. But nonetheless, in all, I pray and hope that you had a good time. If you're headed home, man, hopefully, I don't know if you did, but for those, real quick, for those that go to Bahamas, make sure you go to the Poop Deck. Sounds weird, sounds crazy, but it is a phenomenal restaurant that has fresh seafood, and more specifically, they have snapper that I love to get every time. When you walk in, you can see the snappers, pick out which one you want, and it has the price on it, right? So you know what you're spending, and you get two sides. I usually get the Bahamian mac and cheese and the mixed vegetables, because the Bahamian mac and cheese, it's amazing. And make sure you get a fruit punch as well as a Goombay punch as well, okay? So all that to say, not only do I love the Bahamas, but I know the Bahamas. And I hope you, Mr. Stone, had a great time, you and your lovely wife. And so, Mr. Roy says, God bless you and your family, bro. Have to go. Hopefully, get chatting again soon. Thanks for help keeping going. You are inspiring us to keep growing. Thank you, Mr. Roy. I hope and pray that you have a great day as well. And thank you for keeping it going, because you help keep the conversation flowing and going today. I hope your day turns out as great as you are. And definitely thank you for not only saying that I'm inspirational, but knowing that you all are inspiring me as well, and different things that I am now doing, because I'm like, okay, let's keep it going. Let's try new things. Let's show new things. Let's show new ways. Let's show the good and the bad, because I think even looking at other gardening YouTube videos, I see a lot of good, right? But not oftentimes do I get to see the bad side that actually does take place in everybody's garden, right? It's not all peaches and cream, or it's not all good. There are some times where things don't go the way you want it to go. Some things that does happen that you're like, oh man, what do I do now? Because this didn't grow, that didn't grow. And I definitely want to show you all those different aspects, so that when you take the challenge, or you get the unction to say, okay, I'm going to give this thing a grow, I want you to know all things and keep all things into consideration when you are gardening yourself. So, of course, Mr. Roy, of course, roly polies and pill bugs. I tried DEET, but I do not want to kill my earthworms. Exactly. And that's why, I'm very finicky about what I do use. But what I did resort to doing in some cases with my grow bag specifically, I go to the gym at like 3:45 and I'm there by like 4. And so I say all that to say, I then come back in enough time to be able to look over and look after the plants. And so a lot of your pests, your roly-polies, your caterpillars and things like that, they're eating during the night. And so what I would find myself doing is picking off those bad boys, just picking them off, throwing them out. And truth be told, I was throwing them in a row. And I felt no type of nothing, because I didn't want them on my plants. But that's the thing. Now, even with those particular bugs, you can try to use I don't know what it's called, but what it is like a bowl, and you put beer in it, and the slugs and the bugs and things like that, the caterpillars, they're gonna find themselves in there because of I think it's the smell of the yeast that they're attracted to. And so you can then come home or come outside to a bowl of pest that you can dump out and call it a day. Like, yes, I saved some plants, right? But then you just have to do it, right? It's not like you can spray the DE or spray anything and say they're gone forever. No, you have to definitely come back out and check on a basis where you can know that, okay, not only did I take care of the problem, but I also alleviated future problems, right? And so, all those things in consideration is how you gonna get rid of those pests. Boom, we are great. God bless you and your family. Thank you, Mr. Stone. I definitely appreciate the blessings. I know you're great because you're leaving the Bahamas, right? I've never had a moment when I left the Bahamas that I wasn't great. Okay, so that says a lot about the Bahamas, right? So yeah. Definitely let me know any questions that you all have. We are definitely on the tail end of this live call today. We have about, to be exact, 12 minutes, but probably 11 minutes that we'll talk. So let me know. Let me know what questions that you may have, what things that you're trying to work through, and all those different things like that. I did a whatchamacallit, great tip with the beer, doing it today. That's good. Now, I will say, when doing that, do it on the tail end of the day, right? So you don't want it to be like out in the sun, because, things evaporate in the sun. So you want to do it in the evening time when the sun's going down, when the pests and things are starting to get active, so that come nighttime, they drown, right? And I say that to say, definitely make sure that it's a nice amount, probably about that amount, not this amount, but that amount of beer in a bowl, so that they have enough space to get in, but not the same amount of space to get out. You want them to get in and float, not get in and just crawl. No. We want them jokers to float. And problem will be solved. Now, as it pertains to a question that somebody came to me with involving the chickens, and they said that they use 2 large diameter PVC built candy canes, essentially pipes. I built 2, feed 7 chickens for 2 weeks. Bravo, yes. I do have PVC. My PVC isn't as large probably as yours, and so obviously I had to make the necessary adjustment to the 5-gallon bucket, which I love the 5-gallon bucket with the chicken feed for the chicks because I can go 3 weeks, right? Not to top him, but or her, but I can literally go 3 weeks. We did a week and a half, and it wasn't even halfway. Now, for those that are considering chicks as well, I've used for chicken feed pellets and crumbles. What are the two? Pellets are like little situations like that, right? And then crumbles are like it's crumble. It looks like nothing. And so I said that to say they ate the crumbles a lot faster and messed over it a lot more than they did the pellets. So I definitely use pellets now. Just and I'm gonna do that going here on out. So I recommend you doing it too. Yes, Mr. Larry. Almost at 20,000 subscribers, man. I tell you what, it was a time period where subscribers was coming in about a dozen every day at least, and things change, right? And so, hey, fun times, good times. But I thank you. I thank you for being in my corner, man. I'm always trying to get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and so hey, I don't know. It could be a surge. Why not? 30,000 new people come my way. If you know 30,000 people, send them my way. Okay, we're gonna have some fun on this channel. And I will say, let me just share this with you all on the back end of this here video. Let me answer this question first. And I'm gonna share some fun things. Zone 6B here in Pennsylvania. Brrr. But I have family in Erie, Pennsylvania, so shouts out to the Pennsylvania people. It says, love watching you and getting a lot of info about gardening and your chickens. I want to try a new alerting system, but my spigot, I'm gonna try a new, let me see, I'm gonna assume watering system, but my spigot is too far away from the garden. Any suggestions? Okay, yeah, spigot, watering system. Boom, 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 too far. Well, it depends, right? It depends on what your watering system is. Because, yes, no, you're good with me. You can use a longer pole, or excuse me, pipe, gardening hose. You can use a longer gardening hose that can attach your spigot to the watering system. I'm assuming that your watering system is PVC because that's what I did. But if not, definitely let me know. But then have the garden hose to that, and obviously the pressure from the spigot will allow for the water to travel through the garden hose and get to your watering system, which is where your where your gardening is and all those different things. So that's a thing that you could do. It's but they do cost more when they are longer. But it will pay off because you'll be able to have the results that you want. Or I don't know what the rain situation is there, but you can set yourself up with a watering barrel that when it rains, and I say at least two, no matter what your garden size is, at least have two. But nonetheless, with it all, have a rainwater barrel and allow for it to catch and harvest your rainwater, and put a spigot at the bottom of it and make sure it's higher. Your garden and gravity to force the water from the barrel to the garden and allow for that to be a source, right? It doesn't have to be the source, but let it be a source to your watering system. And I say that because I do both, and both work well. And there are times where I have the rainwater, and the rainwater does everything that it needs to do, and then sometimes that the rainwater doesn't do, and so I have to use the spigot. So same out to say, it's always good to have two, but longer gardening holes is one thought that immediately comes to mind. That could be the remedy to your situation, the spigot to the garden. But then two, having rainwater barrels to not only catch the rainwater, but allow for you to harvest the rainwater, which is the best water to water your garden with, okay? And even with that, you don't want the rainwater to be sitting too long. And what does that mean, Ricky? What is sitting too long? Beyond like 3 weeks, you definitely want to flush it out because it can get stale and start growing algae and things like that, especially if it's getting sunlight. So you definitely want to turn over and use your rainwater. I'm looking like it might rain today, but turn over and use your rainwaters and things like that so that you don't have those problems when watering your garden. So, boom, boom, boom. Hopefully that helps you. To my lovely family in PA, Pennsylvania. Woo. So here's some exciting news, right? Exciting news, fun times, good times. I shared on the last live that my family and I were going out to, not my family and I, Chrystle and I was going out to Johannesburg, South Africa. Why is that monumental? Why is that being said right now? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be moving there, actually. And I believe that we're going to move there by next year, right? That's my belief. I believe everything's going to line up and work out so that it will allow for us to be able to do so. And so, fun times, good times are going to come. You're going to be able to get to see what gardening looks like there and me growing things there. I won't take the chickens, can't do that. But I do want to do like grow bag gardening there and some aeroponics and some hydroponics and also try to help other people do it as well. And my true goal, here's my goal, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm here to share with the end. So, preferably, I have some people on here that will believe with me. But my strong desire is to be able to have like a facility where I can grow kale by way of aeroponics and allow for grocery stores, vendors, and things like that to have fresh kale and even be able to inform people about the benefits of kale, how nutritious it is, how it's a superfood, and all those different things. But then also incorporating in cuisine and allow for restaurants to be able to partake in the fresh kale and things like that. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Be hopeful with me. Believe with me that those things will be able to take place. And so, yes. Sounds great. I have a rain barrel. Never thought of hooking up my hose to the garden. I'll be planning my watering system. Awesome. I'm glad you have a rainwater barrel. Like you have gold. I don't know if you know that, but you have liquid gold, right? There's liquid gold and there's poop, which is solid gold for the garden, right? Fertilizer. So like cow poops, things like that is like that solid gold. But you have liquid gold with rainwater. So definitely for sure. Now, the thing is, when you go to poke the hole, or if you already, I don't know if you say you have a nozzle already, but nonetheless, if you go to poke the hole, definitely be mindful that you're going to lose all of it. But if you already have a nozzle, connect your water hose to it and allow for that gravity pressure to bring the water down, which it won't go as far, but there are systems. I haven't bought one because it was kind of expensive, but there are systems that will allow for you to pump the water much further than what gravity will allow. And so maybe you hook your water hose to that system and then that system to your PVC pipe situation watering system that pumps the water out. Again, that can be expensive, right? Those systems, but nonetheless, in it all, there is a way, and there's a way even with your rainwater barrel, and there is a way with your spigot that you already have going on in your garden as well. So you can do it. You can do it. Great tips. Thank you. Sounds great. I have a rainwater barrel. Boom, boom, boom. That's exciting. Good luck with your next adventure. I thank you so much. I'm excited. My wife is thoroughly excited. She's uberly excited. And so, of course, like we'll definitely bring you all on the journey. We have a family channel as well. For those that don't know, it's called the Jones Home DKUJ. I'll put a link to it in the comment section, but we do have a family channel, and on that family channel, we're going to be talking about and sharing that journey as well as life in Johannesburg, South Africa. So definitely, if you care to know, I'll put a link. You can go to it, subscribe over there as you have already here. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is a fun Q&A today. Very light. Not a lot of people today. But hey, it's all good. I'm here. And I was here with the idea, of course, with these sessions to be able to answer anything that you may have questions towards that either my videos don't clearly identify or answer, or you may be like, oh man, I tried what I saw but it didn't work out, or I have thoughts about what I want to do, so I want to ask you. And so that's why I'm here, and that's why I do these. I definitely have a couple going on in November that we are here together for. And so for sure, like, bring your questions, bring your thoughts, and I hopefully bring my answers, right? I can't guarantee, but I can have the desire, the want, and the praying mind to say that I can answer the questions that you have. So, in it all, with it all, I thank you all for rocking with me and sticking with me thus far on the channel. And hey, I love you all, and I thank you. Keep gardening, keep growing, keep trying different things. If you have chickens, keep getting those eggs, okay? I have some beautiful eggs that I captured or almost got nervous, that I collected yesterday. So the egg journey continues in the Jones household because we have chicks, right? So in it all, with it all, love you all. I appreciate you all. I'll definitely see you on the next Q&A. But until then, I'll see you on the next video, which is on Monday at 10:30. Until then, peace. Love you, great people. Okay. I'm trying to like figure out how to end it. Okay.